What's going on, Ground Roots Outdoors? That's right, it is a frigid, cold Saturday. It's 18 degrees and it's on its way down into the single digits. What a time to do the review for the BearX Constrictor Pro Crossbow. It's on a micro platform. It's already got an upgrade because the scope it came with was crap. It didn't want to adjust and couldn't get it to adjust. So this is on there. This thing is sighted in, and we're gonna shoot it. Okay. But anyway, look how narrow that is. That's awesome. So anyway, I will tell you already, I love this thing. It shoots good, nice and quiet, even though it doesn't have any limb dampeners, which I will be putting some on there here in a minute, and I'll show you that. Downfalls to this crossbow, some cons to this crossbow. One, which is not a bad thing, but it has 22-inch bolts instead of 20-inch bolts, and I have the standard 20-inch bolts. I got a crap load of those things, and now I got to get rid of them. Got to pick up some 22-inch bolts. Anyway, so they come with 22-inch bolts, the BearX ones. They're actually pretty decent. They're 425 grains. I put a Luminoc on it, and that's the other downfall too, is it has a full capture, what they call a crescent or a full capture knock on it. So it doesn't have the standard half moons, which again, that's not a breaker, but I kind of don't like that, but it is what it is, and we'll get used to it. It has a cocking sled versus just a standard rope, which doesn't bother me. I like it. It's quick and easy. So I'm gonna shoot this thing, and the next time you see me, hopefully it will be me shooting a deer with it. How better than to do a review on a crossbow than shooting something with it, other than a target. Stay tuned. All right, it does 400 feet per second, and that's supposed to be with these 425 grain bolts. I have not gotten to the bow shop to put it through a chrono yet, but it smokes pretty good. It flies pretty good. So we shall see. Here we go. All right, here we go. We're gonna shoot this thing, and we're gonna shoot it at 20 yards just to make sure it's sighted. All right, here we go. You can see the light, and it's dead center. Yoo-hoo! I think that's pretty good, don't you? Let's go. All right, Ground Roots Outdoors, here we are. Got the BearX Constrictor Pro. Compact, as they call it. Not micro, compact crossbow. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. That's one for the BearX Constrictor Pro. Let's go. And it's not even 4:30 yet. And she's literally down right there. She died right in front of my tent, my ground blind. Thank you, Lord. Now let's see if we can get another one, because we got a lot of does here and we need to at least take a couple more off. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. What's going on, y'all? So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to read the specs. Yes, that's right. I'm reading the specs. That's what you do on a review. For those of you that want to sit there and, oh my God, he's reading that product. That's what you do on a review. Okay? Anyway, the BearX Constrictor Pro Crossbow. All right? It's 400 feet per second. It's 200-pound draw, which is only 5 pounds more than the average 400-plus feet per second crossbow, by the way. Just saying. Okay, and it's the compact model. I love it, by the way. Let's see. The dimensions of the limbs. This is the kicker of it. This is why people buy compact, and I love it, by the way. So, at full draw, the crossbow is 8.125 inches. At rest, this is the one thing that everybody needs to know about, because when they're cocked, it's all great, grand, and glorious. But when you shoot that sucker, they widen out. And when they widen out, that's when it becomes a problem, okay? And that could be when you hit tree limbs. That's when you can hit the trunk of a tree if you're hunting out of a tree stand, or it could hit the sidewalls of the ground blind. I mean, yeah. But I don't think we have a problem with this one, because at rest or uncocked, it is 12.65 inches. That's small, guys. That's pretty stinking impressive. That's all I gotta say about that. All right, and it comes with 3 BearX TrueX crossbows, or crossbow bolts or arrows, whichever one you decided to talk about. These bolts or arrows are 22 inches long. They are 0.005 straightness or tolerance, whichever that is, okay, which is not great for accuracy and stuff, and they're very inconsistent, but they do get the job done, and many deer and many animals have been taken with a 0.005 straightness or tolerance from a crossbow bolt or arrow. All right, so they're 22 inches long, if I didn't say that, and they use a full capture or a crescent knock, okay? Not a half moon, not a, you know, so, yeah. So you have to be kind of careful of what you buy and where you go to get them. Now, I'm going to tell you, there are only 2 lighted knock companies that you can get, and one of them is Luminoc, but Luminoc sells out of them so fast. The other one is the Alpha Knock by 10 Point, and they're friggin' expensive. And you have to have a special insert for them. So, come on, Nocturnal, pull your head out your butt and make some full captures. Okay, and for those of you that didn't know, here's a little sidebar on that one. Did y'all know that Parker crossbows were the first ones to use a full capture knock? They were called Parker knocks. Bet y'all didn't know that. Anyway, so these bolts weigh 425 grains with a 100 grain tip. That's pretty good. And the crossbow is rated at 400 feet per second, and that's shooting those 425s. So I am going to have to do part 2 to this review and go to the to my bow shop and put it through a chrono, or go buy one, but right now they're kind of hard to find. Anyway, and I don't want to buy a cheap one. I want to get a Caldwell, a good one. So there you go. Unless you guys have any other suggestions of buying good ones, there you go. All right, now it comes with a speed adjustable scope, and I really wanted this scope to work. I really did, and because I love the
the markers inside of it. I loved all that about it. But the problem is that that scope would not allow me to adjust. So it kept hitting high, and I cranked that sucker down. And, you know, I even adjusted the lift on it. I adjusted all kinds of things on the Weaver mounts. I did all kinds of stuff to try to get it to go. You know, talking to my pops, who my dad is a trained marksman in the military, and he's like, well, he goes, try these different things, but he said if this doesn't help, then he said the scope's dead. Okay, and that's what they called it in the military. The scope was dead. In other words, didn't work. So you might as well scrap the thing. So guess what? Scope was dead, and I had to throw it away. As you see, I put the Luminex Killer Instinct speed ring scope on there, and got it all dialed in, and it shoots great out to 60 yards. Do I have it set up for long distance shooting? No, not yet, because I didn't have anywhere really to go until now, because we got now our 5-acre plot has turned into 8. Thank you, appreciate you, to the people that have helped us out with this. But anyway, so that's the specs on the BearX Constrictor Pro Crossbow. This is the only review on here, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you get any of the compact crossbows from BearX, guys, they're amazing. They have the Constrictor LT. They have the they have like 2 or 3 other ones. Now they're a little faster. The draws are a little lighter on them, but it's all 400 to 405. They've got one that'll do 415. But who cares? Okay, as long as it does it. And as you saw in this, guys, that was a 25-yard shot on that deer. And when I shot at her, she didn't even have a chance to move. That bolt went through her before she even had a chance to move. So, if that gives you guys any ideas. Now, am I going to tinker with some heavier arrows? I already have some heavier arrows. But you know me, I like my lighted nocks, and I've got to find some lighted nocks that are going to fit these stupid arrows, because they're a 0.300 diameter. And the BearX, that's the other thing I was going to tell you, the BearX TrueX bolts are the standard diameter. So if that tells you anything. So this ought to be interesting. If you like what you see, hit your thumbs up. If you like what you see and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and the little bell for notifications as the sun comes through the window and blinds my butt while I'm driving. Anyway, thanks a lot. Love you guys. See you.